It ain't broke, so don't try and fix it. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British movies we hope never get American remakes. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're considering the classics of British cinema that definitely do not need changing, no matter how much Hollywood might like to get its hands on them. The USA has already ransacked classics like The Wicker Man and The Lady Killers, and if they ever remade these movies, it would almost certainly be a disaster. Number 10, Notting Hill. The charming tale of an English bookshop owner meeting a famous American movie star takes a whole different tone if the roles were reversed, with an American bachelor meeting a British actress.
Can I help you too?
No thanks, I'll just look around.
And the prospect of swapping Hugh Grant's brilliant butt-bumbling Englishness with an all-American over-egging from the likes of Brad Pitt or Chris Pine would not be the best of moves.
It's a dream, in fact, to see you again.
What happens next in the dream?
Plus, you'd have to swap the eponymous London district with a US equivalent like Hollywood Boulevard. Just no.
Can I just say no to your kind request and leave it at that?
Number 9, Withnail I. This intoxicating comedy about two out-of-work actors is just as grim as it is hilarious.
I'm a trained actor reduced to the status of a bum.
To escape their daily squalor, the titular twosome visit the English countryside, but they bring all kinds of chaos with them.
I feel like a pig shut in my head.
The sheer eccentricity of Richard E. Grant and Paul McGann's characters would likely be impossible for America to imitate, let alone the rolling British landscapes or public drunkenness in a tea room. Set that scene in a Starbucks and it'll never work.
Balls. We want the finest wines available to humanity. We want them here, and we want them now.
Number 8, Bridget Jones's Diary. Even though it's already led by an American actress, the cast for this film series really shouldn't be changed up.
Bridget Jones, wanton sex goddess with a very bad man between her thighs.
Expertly tapping into the life and times of a British 30-something, Renee Zellweger's Bridget brings charisma, elegance, and exceptionally big pants.
Tricky. Very tricky.
Turn her into a US equivalent and you'd most likely mangle the lovable underdog archetype she stands for. The series is also stacked with delightfully English turns of phrase, which would definitely lose their impact across the pond.
Frankly, I'd rather have a job wiping Saddam Hussein's arse.
Number 7, Labyrinth. Although directed by the American Jim Henson and featuring Jennifer Connelly as the lead, much of this movie's uniqueness is down to the screenplay by Monty Python's Terry Jones.
The air is sweet and fragrant, and none may pass without my permission.
And then there's that star turn by David Bowie. Could anyone other than Ziggy Stardust ever effectively play Jareth the Goblin King? Not likely. We just can't picture the likes of Justin Timberlake ordering around poor Hoggle.
And Hoggle, if she ever kisses you, I'll turn you into a prince.
You will?
But most of all, it's the iconic 80s puppets that make this film what it is, and we're betting Hollywood would substitute for CGI monsters. Number 6, Johnny English. A James Bond spoof about a stumbling secret agent with a well-spoken sidekick who tries to stop an evil Frenchman from stealing the crown jewels. It really doesn't get much more British than that.
I think I'd rather have my bottom impaled on a giant cactus than exchange pleasantries with that jumped-up Frenchman.
Let's hope Johnny America never happens when he and his Stars and Stripes sidekick tries to thwart a criminal Canadian who's striving to steal the Declaration of Independence. The ridiculousness of Rowan Atkinson is a one-off brand of brilliance.
Are you going to come home now? Maybe.
Number 5, This Is England. The clue's in the title here. It goes without saying that this Shane Meadows movie has England at its core, and any American interference would definitely dilute it. Of course, any potential producers could simply reshape the name to This Is America.
A word that means more to me than any other. That word is England.
Yes!
But that would have to be a different film entirely, probably foregoing the gritty realism that the British original is famous for. The hard-hitting, controversial but critically acclaimed drama, it's definitely best left alone. Number 4, The Inbetweeners Movie. Our American friends have already annihilated the original sitcom with a much maligned reinterpretation, so here's hoping they never get their hands on the movie too.
Yeah, you got something on your face.
First off, the lad's holiday to Malia switches to spring break in Cancun, and it's just impossible to imagine the US Inbetweeners attracting awkwardness as expertly as the four friends they're trying to copy.
You are joking, aren't you?
No.
The jokes, jibes and insults don't translate, and they never will. And no one beats these moves on the dance floor. Number 3. The Queen. There have already been a succession of awful royal family films out of America, so any adaptation of this Helen Mirren Oscar winner isn't likely to be any better.
But I can see that the world has changed. And one must modernize.
Reshaping this British biopic for Across the Pond would probably be confusing and just plain wrong. Of course, a lot of Mirren's success is attributed to her accent.
I doubt there is anyone who knows the British people more than I do, Mr. Blair.
And while not every American effort at English enunciation is a failure, they're not always especially impressive either. Taint the tone just once, and the regality is ruined.
We're in danger of losing too much that is good about this country.
Number 2. The Full Monty. Given a stateside revamp, this humble British drama could quickly turn into another Magic Mike. Not that the Channing Tatum blockbuster doesn't deserve its success, but The Full Monty works because of its understated style.
Ooh, ah, Cantona, has to wear a girly bra.
Set in Sheffield, Robert Carlyle's Gaz loses his job at a steel factory, so him and his mates organise a fundraising striptease.
The breakdancing days are probably over, but there's always the funky chicken.
Now you're talking.
It's bleak but brilliant and very reliant on its north of England setting, accents and attitudes. And it's another movie where the title would most likely be reworked, but something like The Whole Shebang just doesn't do it.
Dancers have coordination, skill, timing, fitness and grace. Take a long, hard look in the mirror.
Number 1. Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Like most Guy Ritchie films, the director's first flick is a bedrock for British gangster grittiness, often purposely overblown with American audiences in mind.
Mind your language in front of the boy. Jesus Christ!
Give it a Hollywood remake and Lock, Stock would feel way too much like a parody. Plus there'd be no Cockney accents, grimy London street shots, or brutal British slang. And though the likes of Jason Fleming, Jason Statham and Vinnie Jones are pretty irreplaceable, the all-American tough guys will probably be drafted in. As much as we love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, this isn't his kind of action film.
Can everyone stop getting shot?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.